With a news update on WHTC Holland's Cool FM, I'm Gary Stevens. Police continue searching for 3 people, including a 9-year-old boy who had disappeared while tubing on the Muskegon River. Family members reported the group missing after they failed to return on Tuesday, and police later found a vehicle and recovered a couple of tubes near the river. Crews spent yesterday searching the water with boats and drones, and police are asking anyone with information to contact investigators. A St. Joseph County Corrections deputy is under arrest. The deputy was arrested on Tuesday and placed on paid administrative leave while Three Rivers police are investigating. Authorities haven't released what crime the deputy is accused of committing, and the sheriff's office will release no other information while the investigation is ongoing. Concerns about police surveillance has led lawmakers in Lansing to put forward legislation to restrict a new tool. Separate measures in both the State House and Senate will restrict access to information gathered by automatic license plate readers through a signed warrant or during a criminal investigation, and any data would be deleted after 14 days. The bills are in response to concerns about privacy, oversight, and constitutional rights. Ottawa County Sheriff Eric DeBoer's office has been using the Flock cameras, named after the company that is the industry leader in this technology, for more than 2 years now. It has led to 85 arrests, around $600,000 in recovered stolen property, 49 stolen vehicles recovered, and 7 illegal guns seized.
We don't use it for traffic enforcement. We don't use it for speeding. The cameras are at the back of the cars. We're not taking pictures of faces. It's not AI in facial rec. It's AI, and that's a blue Buick Regal with this license plate. That's the AI that's used. And so we have to have a purpose for it. It has to have a case number or a reason, and that's audited. And if we have someone that's outside of what they should be doing, just like all the other databases we use, that's dealt with internally.
DeBoer said that in his office's contract with Flock, information could be held for 30 days and then deleted. Data can be pulled in for evidence, and while Flock can aggregate information for system improvements, it cannot sell the data. It's not 1981 in the Cannonball Run, but it's 2026 in the Cannonball Swim for Jim Dreyer. The ultramarathon swimmer from Spring Lake is slated to embark from some point in Lake Michigan today, hauling 249 6-pound cannonballs in 2 dinghies and one on his back to honor his late father, in navigating his way to Whitehall tomorrow, arriving at Goodrich Park during the White Lake Area Maritime Festival. It's his way to celebrate this nation's 250th birthday and to raise funds for the construction of a U.S. 250th Combat Veterans Memorial in Whitehall. Dreyer, who has swum across all 5 Great Lakes during his 28-year career, admitted preparing for this effort nearing the age of 63 was tough.
I pull a 20-gallon bucket underwater, which is like pulling around a small building. And then I do carry 1 cannonball and a ruck pack on my back. And in some ways, I believe that my training is actually going to be a little harder than the actual event.
An online link to Jim Dreyer's Cannonball Memorial Swim is in this story at WHTC.com. Michigan saw fewer traffic deaths overall in 2025. State police say just over 1,000 people were killed on Michigan roads last year. That's down 3% from 2024. Allegan County Sheriff Frank Baker cites several reasons for that.
Many years ago, we used to run a considerably higher number of fatalities, but there's been a lot of improvements over the years in vehicles, in roadway safety, our seatbelt law that became mandatory. We have airbags now. We have anti-lock brakes. The road engineering has gotten better. We have cable barriers now across the freeways. So a lot of things have occurred, and we reduced traffic fatalities significantly.
However, bicyclist deaths rose 21% to 35, and state officials say many of those crashes are happening on rural roads, urging drivers to slow down and cyclists to use lights, reflective gear, and helmets. Michigan health officials say residents can return to normal guidance for eating lettuce and salad greens as a major cyclospora outbreak winds down. More than 12,000 cases were reported statewide, but new cases and related emergency room visits are now declining. The state has lifted its earlier recommendation to avoid bagged salad mixes while continuing to monitor for any new cases. But there is another outbreak that the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention in Atlanta is tracking. 23 states are reporting cases of a fungal infection that has drug-resistant strains. Candida auris is a drug-resistant type of yeast that causes bloodstream, wound, and ear infections. Symptoms include chills, extreme tiredness, fever, low blood pressure, low temperature, and high heart rate. The CDC reports Michigan has more than 500 cases and Texas more than 700. Michigan's Department of Natural Resources is urging people to leave the eastern Massasauga rattlesnake alone. The threatened species is the state's only venomous snake, and it's illegal to kill, capture, or harass it. The warning comes after a man was hospitalized last month after reportedly trying to photograph one. The DNR says bites are rarely deadly and advises anyone who is bitten to call 911. Investigators say 2 people are facing charges connected to hundreds of suspected fake jobless claims in 32 states. Sean Carter and Danielle Thomas are charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and aggravated identity theft. Federal investigators say the claims were filed online in bulk and then turned into Bank of America debit cards. The cards were sent to a Michigan address, and cash was withdrawn in Metro Detroit totaling over $4 million. A preliminary hearing is slated for today. The 127-yard sale, also known as the world's longest yard sale, is taking place across multiple states. Beginning in Addison, Michigan, the event runs 690 miles along US 127 through Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Georgia before ending in Alabama. It gives the public the chance to stay off of busy highways and instead enjoy scenic routes through small towns and rural communities. The world's longest yard sale runs through Sunday. Dylan Dingler homered and drove in 3 runs, while Framber Valdez and 2 relievers teamed in a 7-hit, 7-strikeout shutout as A.J. Hinch's Tigers collared the Mariners in Seattle yesterday 11-0.
We can, be bummed that a few of our favorites are walking out the door, but yet collect ourselves and go back to playing the game. I mean, that's what we control. We still have a lot of talent in that room, as proven by coming here and winning a series and chipping away at the hole that we've dug, and we're not out of it yet, but we are heading in the right direction.
Detroit faces the Giants in San Francisco this evening with coverage from Dan Dickerson at 9:50 p.m. on WHTC Holland's Cool FM. In the 11th inning, Pete Crow Armstrong stole third base and then came home when Toronto catcher Brandon Valenzuela's throw flew into left field. As the Cubs edged the visiting Blue Jays at Wrigley Field yesterday 3-2.
Glad that one was over, really. I mean, kind of a long homestand towards the end of it, and it's supposed to be an off day, so I think just relieved that we got a W there, and just really proud of how we played this homestand for sure.
Chicago takes on the Royals in Kansas City this evening. Caleb Durbin's RBI single in the 13th inning enabled Chad Tracy's Red Sox to sweep the White Sox out of Fenway Park last night 12-11.
You guys can ask me questions about the game. I don't know if I'll quite remember what inning certain things happened. It was unbelievable. They just did not want to lose. So it was incredible.
Chicago entertains the Cleveland Guardians at Wright Field this evening. Carson Montgomery allowed just a second-inning double by Bo Aniki, combining with Carlos Media on a 1-hit, 9-strikeout shutout as the Fort Wayne Tin Caps blank the visiting West Michigan Whitecaps last night 3-0. The series at Parkview Field continues this evening. Get the latest news anytime at WHTC.com.